is in. Now, the pick apparently got in when the clock went below a minute. So I think they probably were trying to get on the horn, but they are sticking and picking. Ladies and gentlemen, Dallas is not moving off of this pick. With that said, where do you think they could go at this moment?
I think they might have panicked, bro.
What do you mean?
So I think I think they're gonna try to trade. I don't know. I think they were trying to get out of there.
The pick is in. They're not trading.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think they
Here we
tried
go.
to.
Here we go. Here we go. We're here, ladies and gentlemen. The Cowboys, 12th overall. Oh my goodness. Guard Tyler
They took a guard at 12.
Booker. They stuck and they picked. They stick and picked Alabama guard Tyler Booker, trying to solidify that interior offensive line. And the offensive line was definitely a topic of conversation. And the offensive line was definitely a legitimate conversation to have. And here they are. They took it. Tyler Booker, ladies and gentlemen, who we talked about him the other day. I thought, in my opinion, the lateral movement was something that they might not be turned on with, but everything else, apparently they liked a whole lot. And he's here.
My question is, if they like Tyler Booker, because this isn't we just are now hearing about them liking him. It's not new to them. Why did they sign 38 guards in free agency?
You got to wonder if it was to just protect themselves in case Tyler Booker wasn't there, or any of the guards they might have wanted wasn't there.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I like Tyler Booker. 12 is rich, but I do understand it. Brock Hoffman, T.J. Bass, Tyler Booker as a player, tons of power in that frame. Like, he will dirt guys. He looks for work. Very strong off the bat NFL strength.
Yep.
I might be with Foots on this one. They might have panicked a little bit. I really thought it would be wide receiver, not necessarily Matthew Golden, but like Ibuka. Like they got to get better on the outside.
I tell you what, but that interior pocket is not going to get pushed. you know what I'm saying?
No. And there's tons of power on the interior now. I mean, you look at Smith, Beebe, Booker, like they're going to be able to move people in the middle. And you look at the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles with Jalen Carter, that interior defensive line. The Commanders have always had a great interior. Dexter Lawrence in New York, like, makes sense, and they might be trying to really rebuild this thing because Zach Martin's gone. And maybe that's why they took a guy they're expecting at right guard. Like, we need to get our Zach Martin back.
Yeah. I mean, this is a team that's no stranger to taking offensive linemen in the first round. They go back-to-back years doing it, 3 times in the last 4 drafts now doing it. So it feels like what they're trying to do is this version of when they took, if you guys remember back in 2011, they selected Tyron Smith. 2013, they selected Frederick. 2014, they selected Zach Martin. They're trying to replicate that, and we'll see where it will go. I do think running back will be a selection they'll make maybe sometime late day 2, possibly day 3, but they're solidifying the interior offensive line, which, it was a need. If you go look at the needs, it was a need. One of my things has always been, does the pick make sense? Even last year, wasn't a fan of Tyler Guyton in the first round or in general, but I get it that they needed a tackle. The Cowboys needed help on the interior offensive line. I didn't think it'd be here. I didn't think it'd be this high, right? But they've got their guy they believe is going to be there for the next decade, and I think he is plug and play, and he will be a very good offensive guard for sure. I just hope that they are able to address their other needs tomorrow, which I'm pretty sure they will. I don't know how they get out of this without a receiver in the next 2 rounds.
I think it's always funny when people are like, I really hope Dallas goes BPA. Like, we were talking about that when we were doing our mock draft. Like, Dallas going BPA. Do we think that Tyler Booker was their best player available? I always wonder if the Cowboys kind of grade on a curve. Like, they know what they need, and when they put their board together, are they grading on a curve? Like, do we really like Tyler Booker, the guard? Like, we need a guard. I mean, this might have been their best player available. I really would have liked some help on the outside. I think you got to get better at wide receiver too, and maybe this is what they were talking about. Maybe they go out and trade for a wide receiver too if they don't feel like they get one in the next 2 rounds. But once again, the draft isn't over.
No, not at all. And I'm honestly a little bit. I'm with you here in the sense that I don't know that he was. They'll probably say it, and it is what it is. If he is, then hopefully it's like a Tyler Smith situation where like, hey, nobody had him as a 12th overall guy, or I shouldn't say nobody, but Tyler Smith to them I think was like 16th on their board. So when they got to 23, it was or 24, he was like, of course we're taking Tyler Smith.
Yep.
But I don't know if Booker they had as a top 10 type of guy, but if they did, then that's probably why they took him. Or Zach, you could have got to a point where your stack got to where tags were touching so much, right? That now, if you remember what Stephen Jones said, we have to weigh our options on where to allocate these resources versus need. And they probably said tags are touching. We want to get a plug and play right guard, and they drafted it. Would I have taken that? Probably not. With Golden sitting there and Ibuka, but he's going to be a plug and play. Let me say this: I don't think anyone believes that Tyler Booker's a bad player. I think the thing is, people believe that you aren't going to get the same quality of quote unquote weapons on the outside from a receiver standpoint that you would have got if you was stuck there. But they probably have that same argument with the offensive line, y'all. They probably don't believe that there's a Tyler Booker outside of the first round. So now it's somebody got to die, right? Somebody has to starve.
And I do agree with them. The interior offensive line play drops off tremendously after round two. After round two, like it starts dropping off pretty steep. I think you would have gotten along better having all the guards that they signed this offseason and trying to get your wide receiver. But you know what? First round wide receivers aren't a 100% hit rate either. Like you have just as good of a chance. Like Golden has I think it was like a 35% chance over the past 10 years or whatever. I just think they talked about wide receiver 2 so much, and Golden was mocked to him relentlessly. But we also talked about how all these guys from now 12 to 30 are so bunched up that it's really just a preference thing. And Dallas preferred the guard.
That's where I'm at with it too. Foots, I know you still over there a little shocked.
I mean, the problem is I just don't have Tyler Booker graded as a great player. Just being honest, I can't fake the funk. I hope he's good, but I would have went Grace Abel. Just being honest, like I don't look at him as a great player.
I will fight you on that.
I don't even have the energy to fight, bro.
No,
I don't even have the energy to fight.
I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to fight you. But no, I think Tyler Booker. They were never taking an FCS offensive lineman with 12 overall. They took a Power 5 Alabama powerhouse guard. Like again, let me circle this back. And I don't know. Now, Foots just said what he said, so he truly believes that he's not in on the talent that is Booker. I personally think he's a good player. He's a really good player. This wasn't to me about the player, more so about the specific position, like offensive guard. He ain't sliding anywhere else. Not center, not that offensive guard only. At 12, no trade back, getting no extra value. I thought they wouldn't do that. But it was a position of need, and he is a baller. So it's a weird situation, right? Like, yeah, I'm not. This isn't Ted McMillan, but I don't think this is Tyler Guyton either, y'all.
100%.
I don't know.
You think this is Tyler Guyton, Foots?
I don't think that he's.
I don't think this is Tyler Guyton.
I think people think they're gonna get Zach Martin, and it's just not the case. I mean, we'll see.
And what I mean by Tyler Guyton, remember Tyler Guyton was the 6th tackle taken, 7th tackle project. Ain't nothing projectable about, and that ain't even a word, but I'm gonna say it. Ain't nothing projectable about Tyler Booker. He's plug and play.
Yeah,
the only question is the athleticism, and we talked about that the other day.
That's what we talked about.
How does he fit in a scheme where you're running outside gap scheme, pin and pull? Like, can he move? He's powerful as hell.
I think he can move from A to B, no problem. I do worry if he has to go A to C and Y.
Yes.
Like that I am going to be intrigued to see how that works, especially given that Clayton Adams more so has leaned from a scheme standpoint with that. but Will Hernandez was another guy that wasn't this uber athlete, a little bit more sluggish, and he was pretty damn good under Clayton Adams. So I don't think it's that Tyler Booker cannot do it. It's can he be good at it? Because I watched, and y'all are going to hate this, I watched Tyler Smith struggle with that earlier, and he was more athletic than Tyler Booker. But Tyler Smith, I don't know if y'all remember this Foots and Zach on film. I used to bring this up on my Tape Tuesdays. When he pulled, man, when it was ugly. But it wasn't because he couldn't move. It's just he didn't know what the hell he was doing, right? He didn't know what he was doing. I think Booker knows what he's doing, but does he have the athleticism to be consistently good going from A to C or with certain type of pin pulls?
Yeah, I think to me, it's one of those things where like now who is he blocking for? You know what I mean? Who are we throwing the ball to? Because I'm so consistent with like. Because what's going to happen is we'll get in the thick of things and just the playmaker and the playmaking ability.
Now, that's the conversation.
That's
right?
What scares me.
That's the other conversation on the other side. If you guys want to have that, is that, okay, you did pass up on a couple playmakers right there. I'm guessing you have to get that tomorrow night, right?
And I think that's what scares me is it felt like they had to get a running back last year. And then they go into the third round, they take Marist, and then fourth round, all those backs go. And then in fifth round, they're like, oh, well, we didn't get our back. And then they panic sign Ezekiel Elliott after. But I just saw a report about Tyler Booker that it's plus character and leadership is a box that he's checked. And the Cowboys talked about that. A guy that loves football, loves football. Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. James Slater came out earlier and said they were worried about the leadership in the room. And if Tyler Booker is a guy that I don't think a rookie's going to do it, but if he's a guy for the future to do it, that's something to pay attention to.
Yeah. And this is I think this is a stick in there and make the pick guy. I think they could have traded back and got him.
I definitely think so.
They panic.
But did anybody want to trade back?
Teams to trade back. And, I mean, nobody wanted to come up. Dallas sat there and picked.
Because why would you? Why would you? Look, Kenneth Grant, won 13th overall to the Miami Dolphins. 3 Michigan players in the top 13. How about that? And then Tyler Warren just selected by the Colts, ladies and gentlemen. But sorry for all those who may not be Cowboys fans. We're going to bring this back to Dallas here. Yeah. As Tyler Booker is the pick for the Cowboys, which, again, I know it's not the sexy pick. But the reason why I'm not, like, tripping or panicking right now. Did I want an offensive lineman here? Did I want one? No. Did I think the Cowboys needed one? Yes. And do I think this is a good one? I do think he's a good one. But the other side of the conversation that I am worried about now, and I am worried about is on day 2, are they going to be able to nail it? Day 2 is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have picks. So now you don't have a 4th round pick. So like these next 2 picks kind of have to be like, now you talk about defense, like where? I don't know.
Defensive tackle, I think, is still obviously, we're talking about needs. DTs still need, cornerbacks still need, wide receiver, running back still need, and you got only 2 more picks in the top 148. Like you got 2 picks in the top 148, you still got 4 like blinking red lights.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like I said, if he's comboing, I love him. But if he's gonna reach block and do stuff like that, he's gonna struggle. I hate to tell people that. I really do hate to tell people that, man. But
I'm not in the streets yet, but shout out to my guy, Professor O. He said if they take an offensive lineman, he's gonna break his TV. There are a lot of fans who feel that way about it.
Oh yeah.
I've detached myself from getting emotionally tied to a lot of these players ever since I tell the story a lot. The Taco Charlton situation. I was all in on TJ Watt. I was on my TJ Watt no matter what train. It gets to us. I'm like, we're taking him. It took Taco, and I said, that's it. I'm done attaching myself emotionally. Yes, there will be players I like. Yes, I'll have my preferences. I switched my entire thought process to, does it make sense? And a lot of people will say no, it doesn't make sense to take a guard at 12. And I'll just run it back to, well, does this team need this position, and does it make sense for them to take that position? I think it makes sense. I just didn't think it'd be at 12, y'all.